Hey everybody, welcome. Today we're going to do a reading for the Divine Masculine and a reading for the Divine Feminine. And as we know, all of us have Divine Feminine and Masculine energies within each one of us. And as we rebuild and grow and uplift the duality here on Earth, our consciousness, rises and moves forward with lots of growing pains and shifting and movement. And there's been a lot of shifting and movement in the past weeks. And I think a lot of mind shifting, like people's perspective and minds are shifting also. So we're going to start with the Divine Masculine today. And my favorite deck of oracle cards of all time, called Sacred Geometry Activations cards by Lon, L-O-N, has a new oracle deck, and it's called Sacred Geometry of Relationships. So I'm going to start with pulling a card or two from that, and also channel some messages as well. I'm feeling first that the Divine Masculine, we'll start with Divine Masculine, and I will timestamp the Divine Feminine reading as well, in case you just want to listen to one or the other. So first, let me get started and say, I'm feeling like the Divine Masculine is really going through some growing pains, or coming out of like a learning curve, a time where some choices have been made. Like, I'm feeling Divine Masculine energy knows what it needs to do to balance. And weirdly, I'm getting a message about the Divine Feminine not really catching on to what's going on yet. In terms of understanding what other people, are doing, saying, experiencing. So it's just sort of like busy at work, busy. The Divine Feminine is busy. Of course, working on themselves, but that's what I'm picking up for the Divine Masculine, that has some choices have been made. Some of the counterparts, the male counterparts, or the Divine Masculine counterparts in relationships, twin flame, soulmates, family relationships, they know what they need to do. So it's not been easy, but there have been a lot of changes and a lot of pain and a lot of grief within those changes. I'm seeing a lot of relationships, romantic relationships, finalizing, ending cycles, or restarting in a fresh steps, newness, renewal, as we rebuild the duality, our world, as we rebuild the energies in our world. The frequencies are higher, so some of the relationships will be different, and some of the old problems or issues or wounds have been dealt with and released, and we're on our higher timelines. We should keep asking for that. So the first cards I am pulling for the Divine Masculine are groovy. Freedom, number 21. And the other one I pulled out two, is number 19, expression. So the energy of freedom supports our sense of limitless possibility and potential, boundless expression, and bold exploration. The energy of freedom supports our sense of limitless possibility and potential, boundless expression, and bold exploration. In this, I feel like that some of the choices that have been made, some of the old patterns, old relationships, old ways have been released and let go of. So there's a cycle completing for some of our divine masculines and some of our divine masculine energies inside of us. The sense I get is that it feels like a slight freedom, but we're not really sure, what that means yet. So it still feels uncomfortable. We're walking into a new breath of freedom. And I think in relationships, there have been some endings to some long-term relationships or relationships we thought maybe would be really forever. And the divine masculine is seeing some of the options or where they really belong, or what they need to do to get there, what they need to do in themselves to, make life the way that inside is calling them, their hearts. I hope that makes sense. Freedom, I like it. I really like it. Some of the hard work is paying off for the divine masculines. Hard work. Expression, number 19, so that's a 10. The frequency of expression supports our ability to bring out our true essence through many forms of communication. The frequency of expression supports our ability to bring out our true essence through many forms of communication. And I think all of us are recognizing in ourselves some of our true essence, like who we are really inside. We've been working on it for years and years, and all of our awakenings, we keep working on it. And it feels like the divine masculine is really coming into a really good place where they know who they are and, again, what they want inside. That's pretty awesome. I'm also going to pull a card from the Mystical Wisdom card deck for a little bit of guidance for the divine masculine and what can be helpful. So what can be helpful for the divine masculine at this time, the consciousness and relationships? Memories. So the card I'm getting is memories in the Mystical Wisdom card deck. Cherish your memories of loved ones. So I, again, am seeing cycles being completed. Cycles being completed with relationships. It could be family, it could be marriages, it could be all kinds of different relationships. But people are changing, moving to their next space, changing to their next job, changing to the next house, or possibly relationship, even a partnership or mate relationships. And though some of the past relationships are extremely important, we've learned so much and we've loved our people, it's time to complete the cycle on soul contracts. And I'm seeing many relationships that we thought would be together, again, like I said, forever, for the next 40 years, change and shift, and there are new possibilities in partnerships, and the divine masculine is awakening to, maybe in this next era, this next part of my life, I'm supposed to be in a different space or in a different kind of relationship or a different love relationship. So I'm seeing that happen a little bit. I'm just going to pull some more cards, do a little bit more reading. I'll get some channeling as we talk. But it feels like the experience for the divine masculine has been really hard. Lots of twists and turns and really uncomfortable things, over the last few years. But now it feels like there are some new open doors, and truly, like, the divine masculine is able to hear the core, from the core of who they are, what they're supposed to do to rebuild or regroup or choose a different path or different partner. Sometimes it will be the same partner, just in a different way, after maybe some tumultuous times or misunderstandings. So the first card I'm getting is Page of Cups, and then let's pull some others. 3 of Cups. Celebration. the Sun, Two of Cups and Judgment. There is a lot of love going on. So again, I'm feeling the Divine Masculine come into a space where they know who they want to be with. They know how they want to behave, how they want life to be. And they're kind of recognizing, what they need to do to make it so. So with the Page of Cups, some of the Divine Masculine energies are feeling, getting little inklings and ideas and messages from and about love. And they could come from children. So if you have children and you're, working on love relationships, listen to the kids. Like, they might say something that will surprise you, and they know more than you. They can recognize that in you. So the Divine Masculine will be getting kind of some messages. It's a little bit up and down, not sure, but possibly out of the mouth of babes, a message or two that might really ring true or make a difference. I'm seeing and the next card is the Three of Cups. So in the Three of Cups, I'm seeing celebration and possibly different choices, like, let's go here and do this, and where you haven't felt like going out and laughing, and maybe overindulgence also. So calm down on the overindulgence and listen to your heart, and the celebration. Let the celebrations begin. You will know where you need to direct your focus, and it's okay. You're safe. It's safe to trust your heart. It's safe to let somebody know that you like them. Safe to laugh. So I'm seeing the Three of Cups and, fun, celebrations. This could possibly be, this is a holiday season, so it possibly could be sharing with friends, family, starting to laugh again after a period of being blue. So I'm seeing the Divine Masculine sort of cheer up a little bit. Have fun. Laugh. Be drawn to the right direction after pain, sadness, grief, depression maybe. And the next card I've got is the Sun card. The Sun can warm us, and it sometimes means marriage, and it sometimes means freedom in a way, really. The Sun is one of my favorite cards in the deck. I'm seeing, again, just a little bit more of the celebration and knowing, like, feeling true love, unconditional love inside, freedom. It's almost like being with no secrets, no mystery, not mystery, but no secrets, no nakedness to us. So the Divine Masculine is feeling a little bit like, okay, like I feel okay in myself. I can love myself as well as others. So, and I'm seeing some of them also think about, like, I really do want to have a partner, a life partner, a mate, and feeling the urges and draws to partnership as well. Two of Cups. Feels like some of the Divine Masculine are ready to ask, ready to make a phone call, do it to, text somebody and say, I was wondering if you would like to go have coffee, or, I haven't seen you for years. I was thinking about you. Can we maybe touch base and tell me about your life? But I'm seeing romantic healing inside of us. So this is a balancing, just a big shift in balancing, as well as, like I said earlier, cycles are completing, old soul contracts are being completed. And so we are restarting, like, at the beginning. You remember when you were like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and you could feel that kind of passionate attraction to someone and love and wanting to know them inside, wanting someone to know you and not quite sure how to express yourself. So it's like I'm seeing layers for the divine masculine of layers of the onion, or layers being peeled away of codependency, or I don't know, wounds, traumas, issues that we all have, being freed, like gone, dissolved in the sun, dissolved in the sun. And so possibilities of new relationships, connections, attractions coming into the forefront. It's okay, there's plenty of time. Just the divine masculine knows what direction they want to go in. And then I'm seeing judgment. So the card that next for the divine masculine is judgment. This is interesting. It's a card of sort of completion and remembrance. So I'm seeing remembrance of old loves, old family things, meaning memories, past things. And I'm also seeing a couple of the divine masculines either losing somebody or having grief over, breaking up of a marriage or a partnership, or even a business partnership, or a loss of a friend, family, loved one of some kind. And so inside they're finding their balance, as well as the sunshine coming in, is seeing the right people, the right connections, the right path open up for them. So in the judgment, they can see their part in the, maybe mistakes of the past as well, and remembrance of the good parts of family, friends, loved ones, and knowing and feeling the spirit of those who love us, whether they're living in bodies or crossed over in a spirit, be with us and really kind of forgive and balance everything that has happened. As we release the past, we come into a really loving space where we rebuild our duality. Let's see if there's anything else for the divine masculine. More messages. So far, for the divine masculine, it kind of feels like some of the divine masculines are feeling really kind of psychic or connected, like they're really listening to their intuition and their insides. And so again, coming out of a space that was or is a little bit sad, a little bit not isolate, like you need to be isolated, but it was more taking some time to look inside of one's own heart. So I'm seeing Knight of Wands come up. Feels like that, again, might be talking to friends, might be having messages from others. And then Three of Swords. This to me feels like very strongly, feels like I'm sad, and like having remembrance and sadness that is lifting up, coming out of the sadness, coming out of the betrayals, coming out of the losses and griefs of life, and being able to talk to somebody about it. It might just be inside, but it all comes into balance. It's coming into balance. Decisions about work. So this is 7 of Coins, 7 of Pentacles. Kind of like working on the garden, working on the next steps, organizing, watering the plants. And it feels like divine masculine is going to be able to talk to somebody and say, I really, I went through this, and this, and this part was my fault, and this part was understandably, someone's issue, and now I get it. And I'm going to go, rake the yard, because there are 400,000 leaves per square foot in my yard, and work on getting to the next step. So it's almost like you're in mid-step, divine masculine, to the next step, in the middle of the step up, and that feels really good, even though there's nostalgia, there's thoughts of the past. Whoop. However, if you're finding yourself, divine masculine, thinking of someone and feeling like you want to connect with somebody, the balancing is coming together. Balance is coming, and your intuition is on. So it's okay. It's right. Doesn't have to be, all in one day. It doesn't have to be perfect today. Just take a step. You're in mid-step, take another step. And if you know who, what, when, where you love, or what is right for you, what your divine plan is, take a step. The next one I'm seeing is the Ten of Wands for divine masculine. Ooh, and the High Priestess. So the Ten of Wands is like, I'm carrying all these, wands. Look at him. I'm carrying all these up, and I've pulled them up this hill, and I am ready to let that go. So you're feeling the truth come out. Here's justice, balance, yin yang. Look, there's white and black, yin yang, balance, and intuition. There it is. There's that intuition card where you just know. It's almost like the divine masculine is taking on, throughout the ages. We say that the women know, and they're the intuition and the sensitivity and the healers and the, caretakers. These, things are more feminine usually. Sometimes, not always, but feels like to me, it's the tide has turned and the tables have turned a little bit, and the divine masculine is truly feeling what the divine feminine is feeling and going through and experiencing. It's very psychic. It's very intuitive. It's pretty cool. What else can we share for the divine masculine now? The Magician. It's a 1 card. And what else? Two of Wands. The Magician card for me, for the divine masculine, denotes that they're, the men, the divine masculine energy carriers are really realizing their, essence, their magical essence inside, and knowing what they want to create in life, knowing what they want to create in a partnership, and also being called sometimes inside to, an enhanced purpose or mission in life. Do you love the trees and this earth and the planet? How do we save the earth? How do we quit oil spills and fracking, and clean up the waters and the air, and stop chemtrails? Or how do we do those things? Do you love humanity? You want to help heal? You're a medical, psychology, therapy type person, teacher. How can we help people help themselves and grow and learn and expand? So I'm seeing the divine masculine really catching on to some ways, not only in relationships, but in the bigger picture. Pardon me. Find out what the next step again is. This is the same image I'm getting, being in mid-step. So if you get the steps to the front porch right here, being in mid-step to the next one and going, I do want to go up one more, and taking the next step up. Oh yes, I would like to get to the top step, taking another step up. And so I'm seeing the divine masculine able to create, sometimes creatively, sometimes in organized scientific ways, but create, manifest, and sort of magically magnetize what they really want. And at the same time, with the sensitivity and the recognizing what the divine feminine needs and what the divine masculine needs to do for the divine feminine to flourish and to be encouraged and supported, and know they are unconditionally loved. It feels like to me that like they're putting plans in place, like organization blueprints. How's that? And so it feels really cool. And the Two of Wands, it was the last card I had for the Divine Masculine. The Two of Wands really shows we're really being coded and directed and downloaded with energies at all times. So it feels like the wisdom and the knowledge within the Divine Masculine is showing, like it's almost like squeegeeing or windshield wipering off any perspective of anything that was blocked. And so the Divine Masculine is really starting to realize the options and the main things that they want. So he's got the world in his hands and he's choosing very strongly. I know my choices. I'm ready to go. I have 2 wands, 2 directions, 2 pieces of life that I really know. And it feels really strongly good. And so the relationships, I think, the Divine Masculine, soulmates and twin flame relationships, the Divine Masculine is seeing what the other partner, or even if they don't know their partner yet, and don't know who they are not connected with anybody, feels like that they are knowing what their partner will need. And when it's time, they'll, recognize them very easily. They will come to you, or, you will know who you want to talk to. I'm seeing some changes in some businesses too, like growth. And a little bit of travel for some of the Divine Masculines. A little bit. Go for it. I'm going to pull one last card. I'm feeling the remembrances wash away. And as we go through the holidays, I'm feeling the Divine Masculine really remember what it was like to have, 10 years ago, 2 years ago, last week, to have things in a certain way. And now, Queen of Swords. I don't know what this one is. 2 of Swords and the Hierophant is what I'm getting. So now, clear cut. Queen of Swords is an air sign usually, or what they want. They make no bones about it. They just say what they mean, and they can cut away anything that's blocking them. So it feels like the Divine Masculine is cutting away things that are blocking them, taking off the blindfolds, making the choices that used to, they used to procrastinate on, they used to not be clear on. Feels like that's coming into clarity. And with the Hierophant, this is pretty cool what I'm picking up. The Hierophant is sometimes marriage or big programs or big matrix pieces, companies. It feels like the rules are being rewritten. The script is being rewritten for the Divine Masculine, by the Divine Masculine and the Divine. And so I'm seeing some new relationships starting. Easy does it. Go at the pace you need to. And I'm feeling the recognition for many of the Divine Masculines, what direction they need to go. Now that they're a little bit more stable, more comfortable in some ways, remembering the good and the bad of the past, and really regrouping to the next step and the next step and the next step in rewriting the script of this duality. Happier, higher frequencies, and a lot of love. The Divine Masculine is ready for unconditional love and to behave and give that as well. If there's addictions, cheating, lying, betrayals, anger, anguish, trauma, whatever it is in our backgrounds, it feels like that the Divine Masculine is step by step sweeping some of those things away and reprogramming out of themselves, out of the old, a new script. I'm healthy, happy, whole in this relationship. I'm healthy in my behavior. I take accountability for my refreshed choices, behaviors, things like that. And it feels like just a huge huge shift. We're in the middle of a huge shift right now. And the cosmic energies are really embracing the divine masculine and saying, you're worth it. I'm hearing, and don't forget the golden rule. Love one another as you would love yourselves. And so our behaviors and our reactions are becoming better. The divine masculine, super on point. And if you have an inkling inside, if you have a knowing, go for it. There's a lot of new love, a lot of new relationships, a lot of mending in family relationships, coming together with family as well, and maybe new partnerships and businesses and directions, careers, life paths, spiritual paths, a lot of expansion and choices. So blessings, lots of love to the divine masculine, and good job. Feels like you're at like a huge high point, better than ever. So love and peace, you guys. Okay, we're going to switch over to the divine feminine and do a little bit of divine feminine. So I'm going to pull some cards, two cards from the Sacred Geometry Relationships Oracle, and see what we can share with the divine feminine. I'm already kind of channeling and seeing in the energy that some of the divine feminine energies on all of us are a little bit scattered, a little bit not sure exactly what's going on, maybe overwhelmed, overworked, kind of angry. That's funny to me. A little bit cranky about some stuff, like how much more learning do I need to do? How much more do I need to carry? And I'm also seeing old patterns, old issues, old traumas, old betrayals, things that live in us for, our lifetimes, and possibly from past lifetimes as well, being peeled away for the divine feminine. I'm getting a message for some of the divine feminine to go ahead and focus on work or focus on what's important right now. And the scattered parts, or the pieces that we're feel overwhelmed about or has us pulled in too many directions will kind of come together. Timelines are coming together. It just feels a little bit uncomfortable and cranky for some of the divine feminine. It's like, really? How much more do we need to carry? Really? That's how it feels. So let's see what we can know for the divine feminine. 5th chakra. Honesty. These are gorgeous cards, you guys. 5th chakra. The energy of the throat chakra, the 5th chakra. And this is a number 5 card. The energy of the throat chakra supports our ability to communicate clearly and truthfully. The energy of the throat chakra supports our ability to communicate clearly and truthfully. Imagine that. Honesty, the number 23 card, that's in numerology, is a 5. So we have the 5th chakra, number 5 card, and honesty, the number 23 card, in numerology comes down to a 5. The energy of honesty supports our choice to be courageously truthful and genuine with kindness and tact. So here's what I'm feeling. It feels like that because the divine feminine, the consciousness of the whole entire, tens of thousands of years, the whole planet has been squished in their expression, and throat chakra, meaning their expression. And I don't know why I was talking about this earlier or thinking about this earlier, but truly, if you can look back through time, or you can go watch a movie, or go watch a movie that with historical things in it, it feels like to me that you would find that the women are supposed to be quiet. They're not usually, I mean, unless it's like, Queen Elizabeth, or, just a few, people in the past. But the women are oppressed and told to be quiet. And the throat chakra opening up is like really a big gift for the divine feminine. It feels like it's been a little sketchy lately, where maybe the expression has been a little loud or scratchy, or not coming through exactly, misunderstood, maybe not coming through exactly the way it was intended. So number 5 in numerology is a change. Sometimes the number 5, people, cards, directions, numbers are a little bit disconcerting to me, because the change could be so big. And so I'm feeling that a lot of the divine feminines are going through a lot of change, and it just feels uncomfortable. Have you guys ever moved and you're trying to pack everything, and you're supposed to, where's the magic marker, where's the tape, and you're supposed to write everything for the kitchen goes in this box, and everything in the closet goes in this box, and the bathroom, and all these certain kind of books go in this box, and you're supposed to write it on the box, and it just feels, it's gross. No one wants to do this. It gets scattered and exhausting and overwhelming. It feels like that the divine feminine is kind of in an energy like that, and they don't realize that some of the divine masculine, or even other divine feminine, are really recognizing in them their really good stuff. Like their light is shining through, their heart light, and their truth is shining through, and they don't realize how shiny they are. They don't realize, like, what a good job. Like, we need a pat in the back. They don't realize. And so it feels like this is awesome, because it's a lot of very strong energy of the throat chakra opening up, the 5th chakra. This will help us stay in alignment in the universe as the consciousness rises. The divine feminine getting her voice back, not being loud, not being, I'm bigger than you, but getting her voice back to express her sacred truth is a huge gift, and a huge gift to the world. So around, since it's in the holiday season, Christmas time, at least a Christian Christmas story is, Christian Christmas is, Mother Mary and Joseph were going to, cross the land, and they were pregnant, and they needed to go, here and there, and there was no room at the inn. And so it just feels like that this journey of divine feminine, we can look at it in Mother Mary, as she birthed the Christ child, the Christed child. And it just feels like that there's a birth coming for the divine feminine like that. So when we're not recognizing in ourselves, like, how great we are, how worthy we are, how far along we've come, we get our voice back, and our chakras are in alignment, and we start realizing everything that we've done does matter and important. We're irreplaceable and precious. And I'm going to go to the next one, honesty. Being honest with ourselves is not always easy. I'm going to reread this one. I've been noticing this in myself. So that the divine feminine message is, the energy of honesty supports our choice to be courageously truthful and genuine with kindness and tact. I started realizing in myself recently, and I think this is maybe a symbol or a, for the divine feminine, that I was so busy, and I didn't look at myself and maintain honesty to myself. Not that I'm lying or telling other people lies or anything, but the full truth. I didn't allow myself to see it. I think I was scared. So I'm feeling like too much had happened. I had to maintain the outer layer, the plastic, I'm okay layer. And I didn't allow myself to, be honest within myself. in a few ways, in a few areas about my issues, about my shadow work. And that's been really cool. And I'm feeling the divine feminine really blossoming and growing in self-honesty and recognizing, you know, in other people too, the changes within them. And so it just feels like there's, again, another throat chakra opening with this card, with this part of the message. And it feels like there's kind of like an unconditional love coming to the divine feminine, to help really support them, when it just feels like they just had to do almost like everything themselves for a really long time. Out in the cold, feeling left behind, like feeling second best, not heard, listened to, known as much as they should be. So it feels like they're breaking on through, like, and the self-honesty and expression is safe now. So we're going to get used to feeling loved unconditionally, and feeling safe in expression, and safe, expanding the, you know, perimeters and paradigms that we've always known and lived by. So dream big, divine feminine. Dream big, because, you know, there's endless possibilities. I'm going to go ahead and pull Mystical Wisdom card for the divine feminine. I'm also feeling different options being confusing. So just as the divine masculine, I was kind of looking back at and having memories and remembrances and nostalgia about, you know, losses or, you know, life gone by. It feels like that the divine feminine is strongly bringing into their timeline balance and alignment and past lives and everything. And it still feels like just like way too much work. So everyone needs a rest, and I'm feeling that it's time, while we're shifting, to allow the divine feminine to sit down, rest, hibernate, get a massage, allow some of the, if you're, you know, waiting for the next part of your relationship to come together, or working on your marriage, or don't have any idea who your soulmate is, keep dreaming big, call them in, call in the next steps, and allow your ships to come in. You don't have to go pull the tugboat by the big rope right now. Sit down and rest. Sing, laugh, write a journal, light a candle, say a prayer. It's coming. So I am feeling that, but I feel like the divine feminine is kind of blinded. Like, what? It's like a little depressing even. So if you're blue, divine feminine, just know that we're coming out of it. Rest. The mystical wisdom card that I pulled was children. Children. Know that your children are protected. The divine feminine, out of all of the, you know, history, sometimes is the one that is the mothers the children. This could be friends, family, loved ones. But I'm feeling the divine feminine come into a peace and stability, where it comes to your own children that you've birthed, as well as, you know, the other children of God, friends, family, loved ones, could be parents, you know. Know that they are protected, and that you can sit down and take some deep breaths. You know, again, watch a movie, get a massage, sing a song, light a candle, and know that everyone is okay. You will know what to do. I'm going to pull one more of these. For the divine feminine. Celebration. I like this, the celebration card. It feels like as we as we sort of sit down and rest, this is fantastic. We kind of realize like, oh, it's kind of time to enjoy, cheer up and enjoy. Say yes to the date. Say yes to the going to have coffee with your friend that you haven't seen for a long time. Just a couple of days ago, I saw my friend that I, used to do things with all the time, and she said, "Hey, can we go?" We used to go to a certain restaurant. We would do lunch for 2 hours or 3 hours and laugh and just sit there. We would tip big, but we would stay for a long time. And she said, "Can we go do that again?" And I thought, yes, that would be very nice. So I call that girl dates. Divine feminine, nurturing and supporting divine feminine, encouraging, supporting, nurturing others, forgiving our partners or past partners, karmics, things like that. Just really celebrating each other and celebrating ourselves, like realizing how cool we are. So celebration, let go and have fun is the message for the divine feminine. Let go and have fun. I don't drink too often, and like I don't even have a beer or a glass of wine or anything like that. And I did last week. I had another friend that I hadn't seen for a long time. It was so awesome. And they said, "Well, let's have a beer." And I was like, "Okay, let's do that." It was so much fun. So I had a few beers and kind of warmed me up. It's been forever since I've done that. Really fun. Let go and have fun. I like that message for the divine feminine. Pull some cards. Let's do this. Divine feminine. I'm getting Queen of Pentacles, the Lovers card, the Eight of Cups, 10 of Wands, 3 of Coins, 2 of Swords. So the Queen of Pentacles sometimes shows someone just working, paying attention, focusing on work or income, money, home building, things like that. See on this card, she's just kind of looking at her coin and going, "Oh, such a pretty coin." Sometimes Queen of Coins is either an earth sign, or sometimes it means we're by ourselves. So I'm also seeing in the next card, the Lovers card, choices, 2 pieces to each one of us, the divine masculine and feminine in us, or we all have pieces to us, like different parts of our personality or life or things that we share. It feels like the Lovers, thoughts of that awakening again, whereas the focus has had to be, or should be, on building, sometimes it's business, building home, building careers, things like that. And after the Lovers card, which I'm seeing like, love be important, there's also disappointment or like nostalgia as well, which is a little bit of what the divine masculine got. Feels a little bit different. The frequency feels a little bit different. And it feels like a little nostalgia, like, it was all really hard. Why did I do all of the work? Why did I do 98% of the work while my partners, my friends, my family did 2%? Why did I pay for everyone's lunch when, they make more money than me and they get everything their way? It's balancing. And it feels like kind of a little bit of a wake up or an inspiration to say, it's okay. It's going to be okay. You can have all of it balanced. And it's okay if you don't know right now. And that you want unconditional love and you can't remember what it feels like. This is also putting down finishing completing a cycle of overwork, overwhelm, taking care of everybody. And it feels like putting down the burdens a little bit. So I think, I'm feeling a couple of the divine feminine having having a little bit of backache. So it feels like to me that although we're all being coded and directed and aligned in our divine order, our divine plans, personally and globally, and in groups, spaces, soul families, I'm feeling like the spines, the back, the organs being cleansed out, detoxified, and put into alignment. So that's going on for the divine feminine. Might be uncomfortable, or we might be extra tired. But just know, like, keep asking or praying or visualizing energy work where you release the burdens, release the blocks, release the dead zones. And so I'm seeing the divine feminine kind of bubbling with, waking up to some new awakenings in love and directions and purposes also. Then I've got the 3 of coins for the divine feminine. Feels like to me that things are going pretty well. Feels like to me that there are, understanding and acknowledgement of hard work going on. And it feels like maybe possible partners in business or career, or maybe bosses or people that work under you on your teams, kind of coming together and really being successful in this. And if there were problems before, it feels like coming together in new ways, and being abundant, feeling abundant. A little sip of water there. And I'm still seeing the divine feminine also be, here's the 2 of swords. And here it is, like there's, the moon is above her and there's 2 of swords and she's blindfolded. She just doesn't realize she's doing it to herself. And she has some choices and she's not sure. And the moon, sometimes the moon in the card is above her. And the moon sometimes means things we don't understand or see. Things we don't know. And so there are things that she doesn't know, the divine feminine, that will be shown later, or is incoming now. But she's holding off on making the big decisions until, like, really knowing inside, until she sees some more, until that blindfold comes off. And she says, okay, I'm going to do this direction and why and how. She's just not quite there yet. So, it's like with a few decisions or a few choices and partnerships, it just feels like a little blue, like, well, that didn't work. And there's just an inkling of knowing that there's something inside that you just don't know yet. And those things will be uncovered. Remember to go out and have some fun. Let go and have some fun. So I'm getting the 9 of Wands for the divine feminine. The 3 of Wands. The Wands are fire signs, fire energy, fire element. The 6 of Coins and Judgment. So in the 3 of Wands, feels like that everything is coming to completion in some ways. This person knows, the divine feminine inside knows sort of what direction to go in. It's got to kind of lean on one wand while the other 2 are just holding them up. And the 9 of Wands feels like, it just, here's the anger part, like a little bit like, why did I have to do all of that? That was, above and beyond. Ouch. You mean to tell me I did all of that work and it's going to turn out like this? And it kind of feels like the moment after the tower, or how about this, after the hurricane? So after the hurricane, there's signs are down. Everyone's roofs need rebuilding, windows rebuilding. Who knows where the, kids' bicycles flew to, we have to rebuild a little bit. So it's kind of after the storm going, why do I have to rebuild the house in the neighbor's house? It just feels like a little bit of agitation, but coming into going, oh, wait a minute, like also at the same time, an energy coming in saying, you're all right. You've done really well. You're the best at what you do. You're right on. You're supposed to be you. You're supposed to do this kind of work. You're supposed to be a parent to these children. You're supposed to be you. And so that's where I'm coming. Like, I'm recognizing the honesty. Like, okay, the honesty. Truth is, I was supposed to learn in hard ways so I can get to this point where I sit down and rest, and start breathing, and then let the next pieces come in. And I can be angry about, a little bit cranky about what I've been through before. And then come into some recognition at the same time of, I've done really well. I do have enough for rent, even though so-and-so stole my, tiny house, and I'm still paying for it. And so-and-so said this about me, and it wasn't even true, but it stuck in me and caused me a little bit of grief. And can go through these things and say, I am who I'm supposed to be. My expression has always been one of freedom and acknowledging the worthiness in everyone else. That's what I'm seeing the divine feminine do. Thank you for that experience. You were such a jerk. I'm over it. Good job. I'm going to focus right over here and how awesome this is. It's abundant and rich with enjoyment and balanced and things like that. So it feels like the divine feminine is coming into some cool balanced energy as well. Judgment. This goes along to me with the honesty, and also like what I'm feeling is, prayers going up, like, what am I supposed to know? Why did I learn this way? Like I just mentioned. And, am I ever going to find my truth, my answers fully in a stable way? Yes, the answer is yes. Your prayers are being heard. Your heart's desires are being reawakened. We thought we got to reawaken them a couple of years ago, and then it just got blocked and stopped. That's the old program. That's the old matrix. Telling us, like, you can go, here's a crumb, you're almost there, remember what you like, and then smacking you backwards, 2 steps ahead, 942 behind, backwards. And realizing that you have succeeded and done really well. You're not seeing the full truth of it. And I think a couple of the divine feminine people that are watching today are going to, maybe not a couple, maybe 9 million, maybe everybody, but are going to realize, like, oh, my next step is this. I am successful and I am worth it. So it feels like purposes, jobs changes, home changes, partnership changes. Finally, you get to open up to those things upcoming. Here's an offer of love. So I'm getting 2 of Cups, 9 of Coins, Knight of Coins, Knight of Pentacles. Well, that's a Page of Cups. You are going to learn something that you didn't know. Something, the wool was pulled over your eyes. In overall divine feminine energy, the wool is pulled over our eyes sometimes. That means in every person, in every consciousness, piece of consciousness, that's uncovering. So I'm getting the Moon card, Page of Cups, and a little message of love. Could be like scattery. It could be not solid. I'm seeing the 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Coins. And new direction, maybe a new offer. So Ace of Wands also denotes like a strong, like solid offer, whereas the last 1, 2, 3, 4 were not. And the Moon card shows that you're gonna just know. Things will be uncovered. The wool will be pulled off of our eyes. We can see. And while you're sitting and resting and waiting and getting a massage and taking a breather, there's a lot being done in the energies for you. So don't worry. Here's another message of love or message. And this is really awesome. It's your time. You sit down and you open up your arms and allow your doors to be open, your opportunities to come. Allow love to find you. Allow self-love to find you. Allow your home to find you, because it's really on the horizon. You can feel it, even though you might be mad about how long it's taking and how long, all those things. But I'm seeing also for the Divine Feminine, really happy for family, friends, loved ones, children, and finding home. You know, sometimes all of us, I think, have said to ourselves, I just want to go home. Where's home? I want home. I yearn for home. If you're starseed or indigo child or light worker or, you know, a human being, we've all wanted that, yearned for a home. And so I'm seeing that being uncovered, even though the Divine Feminine cannot quite put a finger on what that means right now. In some areas, in some ways, I'm feeling it come to her. I'm feeling that prayer being answered, coming to her. And some justice, some balance, you know, coming to pass, which is funny because it feels like that the roles have switched. And it feels like the focus has been so the Divine Feminine can really focus and organize and balance and create a solid foundation, a solid business, a solid home foundation, a solid self foundation. And it's kind of coming to pass that the Divine Masculine, which we normally think of as not as intuitive or sensitive or empathic, is kind of intuitive, sensitive, and empathic lately. Go figure. It's like the roles, there's a reversal on roles, and the Divine Feminine is not as thrilled about it as the Divine Masculine. I'm going to do one more card. Nice. Okay, one more, I mean 2. 4. 3. This is it. I really like this. So if there's been anger, blame, arguments, discomfort, confusion, such as these things, ooh, that's good. I got the 5 of Wands, the King of Wands, the 10 of Swords, and the 2 of Cups. Feels like we're coming out of the cranky, hurt feelings, argument, everybody's got to tell us what to do feeling. Imbalances, misunderstandings, anger. We're coming out of that phase. The King of Wands is sometimes a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, fire element. And it feels like that Divine Feminine is coming into their really authority, like sovereignty, authority, and going, I've had enough of everyone's stupid chaos and causing me problems. No. And the boundaries, clear cut, line drawn in the sand, and some boundaries with whatever situation's going on. And laying down the swords. This guy, this card is, it's not hilarious looking, but it's, I mean, he's been stabbed in the back like 10 times. There's 10 swords in his back. He's face down. He's like, I give mercy. I'm done. White flag. Whew. And so the truth is, it's a finishing up. It's not that he's defeated or down. It's just done, laying down all swords. And really having some phone calls, texts, emails, recognition from some people offering love, and also the Divine Feminine coming into a place where she's recognizing, like, I think I do want to go for that. I think I am ready for this part of our relationship, or meeting somebody new And these things are going to come in the next month or so. Some newness, some growth. I can't stand it. This is fun. Because technically, you know, being a woman, I would be divine feminine sometimes. Although I do carry a lot of masculine energy sometimes. I'm getting that we're being, some of the cosmic incoming energy is really clearing away some of the old, and the divine feminine is yet again doing a really great job. As we come out of slavery, or we come out of oppression, or we come out of disappointment and betrayal, we come out of the lower energy matrices, pieces, as we come into our healing out of traumas and issues and depressions and wounds, divorces, losses. It feels like we're not going to have to be as tough on the outside. We're going to be able to come back into realizing, okay, it's okay to trust and allow new opportunities and things to come in. I'm just over and over, I'm seeing it's successful. The divine feminine is successful. Finding new jobs, feeling secure and safe in their businesses, and new directions and focuses. Building the new foundations, meaning the higher frequency foundations within themselves and in every aspect of life. So good job, divine feminine. And I'm also seeing some of us, some of you, divine feminine, really, really, really connecting safely and allowing some adoration, some unconditional love, some people that ask you out, or if you're in a marriage or a partnership, allowing that partner to come back in without pushing them away, without saying, I've been hurt too much, get away from me, without the coldness between you. Building a new duality together, rewriting the script. So it's a different way. It just feels like the divine feminine's a little more uncomfortable than the divine masculine this week. So as this unfolds into December, this is the second day of December 2019. Feels like we got some good stuff coming up. And congratulations, it feels like for both divine masculine and feminine energies, it feels like we've done just an enormous amount of work in these last few years to get you to this point, to this freedom point, so you can allow, the right, the right relationships, or rebuilding the relationships and rewriting the script and allowing unconditional love in like we have never done before. We didn't know how. So inside and outside, on every level of our being, every layer of energy, feels like we're really advancing very quickly. So we are in the middle of an event, as they would say. Good job, congratulations, and blessings to everyone. See you soon.